I'm Dom from Country Chat with Dom, joined today by Marina and Martin Blore from the British Country Music Festival. Hello, guys.
Hi, Dom. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's so close to the festival now, and we're recording this currently at 2 p.m. on the 1st of August. Happy 1st of the month, guys.
White rabbits and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Just to let everybody know that, obviously, because we're going to be talking things about like tickets, where to find information, and things can change between now and the actual festival dates. So I like to give people a indication when we're actually talking about this. So yes, it's the 1st of the month, and this year's gone quite quickly. Do you not think?
I think every year is going quicker. I think as we're getting older, everything goes so quick now.
Yeah, it's just absolutely flown by. Yeah, and it feels quite relentless from putting one festival to bed, and even as one festival's going to bed, we're working on the next one and starting to talk to people, and yeah.
Well, that was going to be like my first sort of like question was when it comes to organizing festivals. So later on, I'm going to go back to the start and talk about how this kind of like developed and where the British Country Music Festival came from. But in terms of preparing from the moment you finish one festival to then preparing for the next one, I presume it'll just be almost like straight away. You kind of like get the plans, you get in the drafts, working out what you sort of wanting. How does it actually work for you guys then?
Yeah, so I think the really important part is programming the artists, so we like to get ahead of that. So I think we've already got for 26 something like about 250 artist applications already
Wow.
to go through. We ended up with 580 for the whole year last year, which is amazing because out of the 580, there's not that many that aren't serious applications.
Probably that's aside from headliners.
Probably about 50. This is for the grassroots artists who are trying to make a break and get a festival.
Yeah,
It's like so competitive. But we've got a form that they fill in, and we encourage them to keep filling it in even if they don't get in, because the amount that are applying for the few spots, and we can see people growing in their careers each year when we do it, and we really do listen to at least two of their songs and then go do a deeper dive once we've made a shorter list. So we are actually already on that process. If we're on a long car journey, we'll start going through those and listen to those. If it's a particularly long car journey, then we can't listen to acoustic guitar again the next day. a little break, but so that's that. But we've also, as the festivals develop, we've got a bigger international guest list. I would say that's happened, and we've been building those relationships in the States and Canada. So those have been building for next year as well, because the bigger artists, they'll work a bit more in advance than year to year, and Australia as well. Yeah.
So when it comes to actually, reviewing the music and reviewing the artists, is it just you two that do it, or do you have like a team behind you?
This is it. This is the team.
That is a lot of music to get through. I mean, listen to 2-3 songs and there's 500 artists. I mean, that's over 1,500 songs.
Yeah, it is. But that's probably our favorite bit, to be honest, is the grassroots, listening to the grassroots, because you realize how much talent there is in this country, and in Ireland and whatever. Ireland, Scotland included in that when I say this country, but UK. There is so much UK talent, singer-songwriters, country and Americana, all those subgenres. And, that was the whole reason of us starting the festival, that it was always going over to, let's get Nashville artists, let's get American artists. And you go, that's fine. And we will do that, but not at the total cost of UK artists as well.
Yeah. When it comes to actually, organizing the headliners, then what's kind of like the process for you guys? So obviously, because there's quite a few big artists that are, coming over to the festival. I mean, Sam Palladio himself. I mean, everybody who's involved in country music or who listens to country music obviously has watched Nashville and everything else between. And obviously, Sam isn't just famous for being in Nashville. He is an incredible singer in his own right. So when it comes to actually organizing guests like Sam and Brittany, How do you guys actually go about that then? Do you speak with agents? Do you have like people come to you, say, oh, we've got this artist here that would like to feature at the festival? You know, what's the kind of like process for you?
It's changed,
It's a bit of
to
both,
be fair, but it's both now. It used to be we were going out asking for the names and come and take a risk on our festival. But as the festival's grown and the reputation with the artists has grown, then artists are coming to us now. That what the great thing is, we've got a really good, educated country music audience who are real fans.
Yeah.
I love finding new people, and that's the ultimate thing for the artists as well, is to build their fan base. So that's working in our favor now. But it's hard to get it over the line. It is, because particularly competing with, the big national festivals, who have more money and less risk averse and bigger clout because they can book 3 or 4 festivals,
arenas,
and an arena.
Yeah.
No, so to try and get a weighty name and risk, yeah.
I think as well. I mean, we're members of the Association of Independent Festivals, so it's a great. We all talk. All the promoters talk to one another, and I think for us, it's always trying to get the differentiation in our festival, because obviously, we have similar festivals. There's country festivals now. Every time I look on Facebook, there's another one. Another one launched, whether it's a day festival or whatever, and it's hard, to make sure that those festivals are viable. There's lots of festivals trading that aren't, and I think we've never been driven on ego. We wanted to make sure that as we grow the festival, that it will have some longevity to it. But we also need to find the differentiation in the artists that aren't appearing elsewhere, which is why we're bringing Brittany over this year, and she isn't playing any other festival, which is great. And Sam, we've been after since we first inquired, actually in 2018, ready for the launch, but at the time he couldn't do it, so we managed to get him now, and I think it's at the right time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, things always happen when they need to happen.
Yeah,
So,
right.
it's great to see. Now let's go right back to the beginning then. So obviously you mentioned 2018 there. Obviously that's when the British Country Music Festival kind of like got its roots. But before that was 2016 with Folk on the Dock.
Yes.
Now, what actually kind of like made you sit down and say, you know what, let's actually create something here? What was the kind of like driving factor to say, we need to do this here in the UK? We need to create this festival. We need to get this music out there. Whose idea was it? How did it all come about? What was it?
So we had no background in folk music when we started Folk on the Dock, but we'd been asked by the Royal Albert Docks to create an event strategy for them.
Yeah.
And we come up with a strategy that Folk on the Dock was one of the ideas, because it fits so well with the dock, because both the ships and the canals end up in that area, and that's how folk music was passed around for both globally and across the country as well. So it just felt so authentic.
Yeah.
It was a great, but we very quickly learned a lot about folk music. So once we'd given the idea, we said, well, we'll run it for you as well, and that's how it started. But
we had some great help. We worked with Janice Long at the time, bless her, and she was a big supporter. So we had a lot of industry experts as well to help with that.
And it's an amazing music city. It is. Everyone, artists, recording studios, venues, they all work really, really hard together to get things off. So we got an awful lot of support. But during the festival, there was a few artists that we could see that we were thinking, is that folk? Does that fit in country? British artists doing Americana or country vibe.
Robert Vincent.
Yes.
Back then.
Yeah. Who else?
That was all 2014.
Megan O'Neill.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Haley was in there as well. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yeah. So we saw these artists, and because Folk on the Dock wasn't our event, we were producers for it. We said, well, for the long term, let's go and start our own festival that we own as well, to run alongside Folk on the Dock. We knew Blackpool really, really well. We knew either of the ballrooms would be an amazing venue and luckily we were able to get a weekend in what is absolutely schedule. So we did a deal with the town and the venue,
Winter Gardens,
to do our first years, and it was niche. It was niche. In 2019. It
was all UK. Yeah, it was all UK artists, and we didn't have any international artists.
No.
Everyone said to us there aren't enough British artists to do a festival, and we disagreed.
And we disagreed because we knew there was.
Good.
We did know there was, and we knew that there would also be an appeal for it. So yeah, 2019 was our first year. Unfortunately, 2020 didn't happen.
Yeah. Say no more. Say no more.
But we were very, very lucky that everyone who bought tickets for 2020, we built quite a quick fan base, loyal customers. Everyone who bought tickets for 2020 moved them to 2021, which was great. And we managed to get 2021 away in between two lockdowns. I don't know if you remember it.
Yes, I remember
it.
It
was like the summer lockdown and the Christmas lockdown. And I was so emotional because people hadn't been out for a gig in, nearly 2 years, and artists were emotional. The customers were, we were. Yeah, it was just the joy of being together, listening to live music was.
But I think that also drove us to think that this is a good thing, because 2021, then UK artists needed that, grassroots needed that support to have those outlets where they could go and play and build a fan base. They'd lost a year's trading. So it made us even more determined to stick to that ethos. So we still have, I would say it's about 92% of our program, as you know, is UK artists. So
yeah,
we will always have a few international, but I think they'll be special guests rather than dominate the festival.
Yeah,
and certainly we should always put the UK artists as headliners alongside the American artists, because it tends to be always the bridesmaid, never the bride for the UK artists.
I think that's always the difficulty that obviously we as the British have. I mean, yes, it's a British country music festival, but when it comes to country music, everybody goes straight away to your A-listers, your Morgan Wallens and your Zach Bryans and your Warren Zaders and all that kind of thing. And people rarely want to say, oh, well, what about this person? What about this person? It's like whenever I do my radio show, whenever we do like what's your top 3 favorite artists, I'll choose a male, a female from America, and then I'll always make sure I've got somebody from the UK, no matter what kind of list I'm doing. Yeah. And just to kind of like reiterate the fact that we have so much talent here in the UK.
I get it. The most promoters are doing it because they bring in the numbers, and that's what that's what they're looking for, is the bottom line at the end of the day. If they've got 1 million followers as opposed to a UK artist that's only got a couple of 100,000, then they will always go for the bigger followers. That's the stats come into it now, I'm afraid. But certainly for the big ones, which I understand. But I think we've now have got our own voice, country music in this. We don't sing about saloons and
red dirt roads,
pickup trucks. We don't do that. We sing about pubs and green fields and life in this country, which I think we were hovering around trying to emulate for quite a long time. And I think now we have pulled away from that, and we've developed our own sound, which is worthy of being placed alongside the international artists.
Exactly. And it's great what you guys do in terms of, championing that as well. I mean, it takes a lot to say we're sticking to our, to our roots here. We're sticking to what we know, whether it works or not. And it has worked incredibly well. I mean, it's been successful year after year after year. So what more can you say? The great, unique selling point, the USP for the festival as well, is the fact that it's indoors. I mean, you never get that anymore. It's just so brilliant to see.
It's the most stunning venue. Oh, we genuinely, I know it sounds like a sales pitch, but we genuinely feel we've got the best festival venue in the country. We've got candelabras on the tables. We've got gilt gulses. We take the Grand Ole Opry on any day, I think.
Yeah, the ballroom was designed for acoustic music in the 1890s, so it works. It just works really well for the style of music, and I feel some history and atmosphere before you would put one person in it. You can feel it coming out the walls, which it does add to the festival, definitely. Yeah,
I can certainly imagine. I mean, growing up, obviously being a northern lad, I went over to Blackpool quite a lot. We used to go watch like ballroom dancing and stuff around the Winter Gardens. Watched it. They've done like circuses and stuff around the Blackpool Tower as well, inside it. And it's always been really fascinating seeing the whole place, and then just to try and picture there being a festival inside there as well. It fits. It's strange. It's great, but it fits.
And
It's
we have
fantastic.
proper loos, and you can wear whatever you want.
You don't have to camp. You don't have to
No.
wear raincoats. Well, unless you're going between the festival to the wherever you're staying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is such a unique thing as well. It's just absolutely brilliant.
There's the accommodation as well, which is literally within walking distance. You know, from if you want a small B&B to a plush hotel, we've got, you know, we're close to the Holiday Inn, which is right by the train station. You literally jump off the train station, you walk to the Holiday Inn, and then we're a 7-minute walk from the Holiday Inn to the Winter Gardens. So it's all, you know, everything's close, and the restaurants are all outside the venue. So easy, good for
it just fits. Was when you kind of like looking for like locations and venues, then when you started the festival, when you kind of like sat down, you obviously brainstormed the idea, you know, obviously everybody creates like a mind map or something, you know, what was it, those things there that actually said to you, okay, this is going to be the venue, this is what we're going to do, let's try speak to them, let's hope, you know, hopefully that's what we get. Was there any other venues or anything else that you kind of like were looking at beforehand? What was the kind of like just before?
We actually just went straight to the Winter Gardens.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Martin, because we're so steeped in Blackpool, we've known, you know, I've worked as a choreographer and show producer and director in Blackpool a long time ago. Martin used to manage Blackpool Tower and Circus, so we know the venues in the town. We knew the Winter Gardens, with the multiple spaces it has in there, would be the perfect venue for this festival. And also the Blackpool Tower is open every day to the public, so it makes it awkward for you to put a weekend festival on. And you know, our festival lands on the opening night of illumination switch on as well. So yeah, so the Winter Gardens is ideal, to be honest, because we've got room to grow the festival. There's so many more rooms that we can add on, and you know, and we've got plans for the future to grow it slowly but surely, and to broaden it, which we will be doing, you know, hopefully from next year. So
that's awesome. So in terms of like growth then, so you're looking at possibly new stages, different kind of like type of, you know, obviously you guys don't want to say too much because you want to kind of like use that as like a selling point later on in the year. But I'm just trying to see how much I can get, like I mean, go on.
Definitely, I think open into new rooms with new kinds of attractions in the new rooms.
Yeah, we've always shied away from dance and country music because it doesn't fit the kind of contemporary country music scene, you know. And I would even, you know, line dancing probably wasn't a good thing for country music when it happened. It was absolutely massive, absolutely huge, but made it less cool somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we just don't want to mix messages. What it is, we don't, because we're contemporary country and Americana, we don't want to mislead people to think it's going to be a country and western festival, because if they're coming for country and western, they will be disappointed, and we said that from the beginning.
Yeah,
is coming for that, don't come to this festival, because that's not what it's about. So there are some great country and western festivals, and absolutely providing for that fan base, and that's not what we do. But yeah,
but also two-step is so cool that
it really is. I mean, I lived over in Texas for a fair few months back in like 2016, 2017. And the managing director always used to take us out, you know, to the little dance halls where it was literally just a circle, a bar in the middle. And they taught me how to two-step around. And obviously I've forgotten now because it's so long ago, but it is one thing that is just absolutely incredible is the two-step, is actual proper line dancing. It's just fantastic.
It's doing it in the right way, isn't it? I think that's what we want to do. And actually, to be fair, our background is dance, so we used to produce West End theatre shows in dance. So, we are really precious about, if we introduce it, then we need it to be
it right,
edgy and current. You know, I think that's what we're thinking.
Well, I don't mind talking about the other ideas we've had. I don't know, what do you?
I think we'll tell you next year.
Cannot wait. We'll do another recap later on in the year. You know, getting close to the time, so we'll do like, so how was it last year? You know, what was the kind of like overall vibe, and then we'll go on to the definitely look forward to that one. Now, when it comes to actually organising because you got multiple stages, you know, throughout the Winter Gardens, How do you kind of like say, okay, we've got our list of artists, we know who's going to be performing. How do you kind of like decide where they're going to perform? Or is it just a case of feel?
Yeah.
It's exactly that. So even when we're doing the apply to play, and we put them on the short list, we say what venue we think they'll be right for when they go on the short list. And then so for example, the Horseshoe Pavilion, which is it's a seated area, 400 people can sit, and you know, it's acoustic and very up close, and you can hear a pin drop sometimes. It does get rowdy in there, but you know, it's a different vibe, and we can feel which artist is right and which artist would thrive in that environment as well. And then, you know, the arena, we have 2 stages on there for breaking artists, one for bands and one for duos and solo acts. But because it's quite raucous in there and noisy, if it's a duo, you need them to be able to do a festival set and live up to it. You know, you got, but as you know, with country music, there's so many different feels and times, and it could be country rock, it could be, you know, a gentle waltz. Then yeah, getting it right.
I think there's also we have done and continue to do as well. I mean, they're not all emerging artists in the arena, to be fair. Some of them are, but we've got established artists like Jess and the Bandits. We've put Gareth Dunlop as a headliner in our acoustic stage this year, and he will work best in there because it's people will sit and listen to every lyric and every note he plays. And some people, you need that just to take the audience down, and that the listen. Whereas in the arena they can rock away or they can have a dance or whatever, and people are more transient in there than they are in the acoustic theatre. We've put breaking artists. Kezia worked on the main stage for us, when was it? I think year 2, was it? 2021. Before she was on the way up,
opening act.
And we've done that with a few UK artists, put them on the main stage to help give them that next push up, I mean, I'm not by any means saying we are solely responsible for it.
But I mean, who knows? It could be one of those things.
I wouldn't take that off her.
No.
She's worked hard, and there's a lot of others have supported her. But I think rather than putting her on a support stage, when we feel that somebody is ready, we will give them that extra right. Get yourself a band now, put yourself on the main stage, and give herself that status that future festivals then will go, oh God, she played the main stage now. So it's just that cut out the years of having to keep, when it's unnecessary, I think. So her and Jade Helliwell was the other one, is another one that we were putting on the main stage earlier, early doors.
There is, like we said, right at the beginning, there is so much talent here in the UK. So you've just mentioned there, Kezia and Jade, incredible artists in their own right. In terms of when you're listening to these people who've submitted their music, or people who've requested to perform at the festival, is there anybody that you've sort of listened to that you've never heard before that you think this is going to be my new favorite sound? This is my new favorite artist.
Do that every year.
Yeah, it's definitely people that come through.
Shane Rafferty was one.
Shane Rafferty for you.
Years ago was one,
The Liverpool band Motel Sundown for me. Just love that. It's all 3 are taking the lead. And the harmonies are absolutely fantastic, and the songwriting's really cool as well. So yeah, that would be one for me.
In terms of then artists that are wanting to say apply, is it just applying through the website? What's kind of like process for them?
Just apply. I mean, those have got agents that normally hammer us throughout the year with suggestions. But the apply to play is it's a genuine thing. We listen to everyone. Also is the best way for you to apply, rather than just dropping us an email, because there's hundreds of emails in our inbox. If it comes through apply to play, it stays in the right place for us to find them again. It answers all the questions, that application form, that we want to know about. And I think from there, just for tips for people applying, just to make sure that you don't send us recordings of you in some really busy bar, which happens, and you can't, all you can hear is the people talking at the bar and you can't hear the sound. Don't send us tracks that take a 2-minute intro. That can just be so long. I just want to hear you sing.
Yeah, you want to feel the vibe. You want to connect with the artist, and that helps you then decide where they're going to go as well if they were to be chosen. So
yes, and learn how to how to work an audience. That's really important for a festival. Whatever stage you're playing on, you can't sit there all the way through and not speak. So you need to hone your craft, do whatever gigs you can, as many as you can locally, and learn how to deal with all types of audiences. I think that gives you that confidence then.
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, like I say, it's 4 weeks away. It can't come soon enough. It really can't.
I'm looking forward to seeing you there. It'd be cool.
Not that I want to wish away the summer, but it is just, it is, again, I've always wanted to, this is going to be my first year at the British Country Music Festival, so I'm really excited in my own sense. But I can imagine there's going to be a lot of other people excited as well. Obviously, getting ready for festival. I mean, we're in the middle of festival season at the moment, so it is just great festival after great festival. I mean, to finish August with such a high as well, with so many great artists on the lineup, you really, really do outdo yourselves each year.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I think, I mean, the three headliners are great. I think we were invited over to Canada last year to a showcase over there. And I think we may be bringing more of those artists over as well, because there's some amazing talent. Tara McLean is on this year. I don't know if you've heard Tara before.
Yeah.
Beautiful voice, amazing sound. So people like that, I think there'll be a couple of those kinds of artists that may be less seen, but deserving of being over here, I think, and something a little bit different. So yeah.
Not that the next question is going to be really awkward, because it's like choosing your favorite child. In your own opinion, as country music fans, when you look at the lineup, what names absolutely stand out to you that you cannot wait to see perform? I mean, obviously you've heard all the music, you've heard everything because everybody's applied. Now you can plead the fifth. You can say, actually, no, I'm not going to answer that because I love them all equally. But we know that's the cop-out answer.
I genuinely can't pick one. I can't do that.
You can pick a couple. You can pick a couple that you're sort of excited to see.
I would say Savannah Gardner.
Yeah.
Yes. Incredible voice.
Yeah. I'm looking at the list.
I'm going to go with Gareth Dunlop.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And he will be in the acoustic room as a headliner for that room, really. We've never had a headliner in there, but just his writing is absolutely amazing. I'm really looking forward to
Red Sky July, and also I'd say Sam. I am really looking forward to seeing Sam, and I think he's going to bring something really different and promote that UK vibe as well. I think we're getting the best of both worlds with him, with the Nashville link and his Cornwall roots. I think will be cool.
Yeah, I think Janet's going to be a bigger artist by the end of August. It's at the beginning of August. She just got Radio 2 airplay yesterday. That's amazing for any British artist to be breaking through on Radio 2. That's fantastic. The more that do that, the floodgates will open, because it's probably the only music genre that Britain doesn't rule the world in.
Yeah. I mean, but it's so quickly growing, though. I mean, the talent in the songwriters, the number of fans, the number of festivals and events that you can go to, the number of artists that are actually traveling over from elsewhere into the UK to perform at these places.
Yeah.
It's just grown year after year after year. It's just been brilliant. And the great thing as well is watching TV the other week and seeing Sam Palladio come on and talk about you guys.
Oh, you know what? What a lovely guy is that?
Yeah.
He has been a joy to work with all the way through.
He has, yeah.
He's very grounded. He gets the whole thing of supporting independent festivals, which is great because we all need it, and I think that, please, listeners, the earlier you buy your tickets, please do that, because it helps us all survive. And there's a lot of festivals gone under this year, I think 70 odd or something gone, which we mustn't lose our independence, because this is the place that the grassroots artists come through to hone their craft and to get their names on people's fan lists and whatever. So that's where they get their music heard on Spotify, is through grassroots music venues and independent festivals. That's who do take the risk before they make the arenas. So So yeah, I think great for Sam, and I love the sound. I think it's something really different as well.
He really, really is. I mean, watch it. I've been, like I mentioned earlier, I've been a fan of his since before, when I started watching Nashville. Obviously, when you watch these artists, sing, you think, oh, that sounds really, really good. Let's check them out. And next thing you know, you downloading the entire albums, and it's just like, this is brilliant.
I think the same will be happening. I do think you're right, Martin. I think Janet, this time next year, Janet will be on a different level.
Yeah.
She'll be. Everybody will be after him, which is great. Hopefully,
the thing I love about Sam is that his album, it sounds British, but it also sounds like it's been made in Nashville. Do you know the two things are there? It's got that polish of Nashville, those production values, but it sounds like a British artist singing about British things. Yeah, so that's a really. It's such a hard balance to get, and probably one of the best examples of it, I think, recently.
Completely agree there. I mean, what more do you need from an artist, coming over and obviously giving you guys that extra little bit of help in terms of publicity, in terms of being so connected with his audience. Because every time that I follow him on everything, and it's always engaged. He's always, engaging with the fans. Sorry. It's just absolutely incredible to see. Now, in terms of getting ready for the festival in this last 4 weeks, what is it like for you guys? I can imagine there's so much stress the last minute. Oh, I've got to sort this. Oh, I've had this artist drop out, so I need to now organize this. What kind?
Unfortunately, none drop out, so everybody is
well. We're touching more. But we are.
Everybody is as is the lineup at the moment, so that I don't see any reason for that to change. She says, hopefully. Now we're down to sort of techs and sound check times, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's the operational side of stuff that comes into play. Manage all
the admin.
Yes. All the not the creative side anymore, which is the bit we all like, and this is probably the bit we enjoy less, I suppose. Is we need trestle tables for the
moment. Health and safety documents, all those things. So we know they are so important, and you've got to do them. But
the dry stuff.
But
the
creativity of it is that.
I can imagine there's actually a lot more than people actually realize in terms of like the health and safety there. I'm just going to quickly touch on it because it's the boring side.
Yeah.
But in terms of like risk assessments and, getting things ready for like liability insurance and making sure things are in place, because there's going to be so many people there. There's going to be, obviously so many artists there. There's going to be so much equipment there in terms of monetary value. I mean, do you have like a dedicated person that deals with all that kind of stuff, or do you again do it yourselves?
We have a great production manager, who does a lot of festivals. Dave Weeks is really good. He has a great team around him. But we're a really friendly festival. There's no, we don't have any divas and they're very much of a can-do team as well. So if artists want something, they're always there to try and help, aren't they? I think.
2 years ago, we had a production manager before Dave started with us, who got the job of a lifetime. It's a world tour with a well-known artist.
Yeah.
Our country music festival was in the middle of that. And he come to us and he said, if I have to say no, I'll say no, but go away. It was about 6 weeks before the festival, but Marina found Dave, and to be fair, he's been a godsend, hasn't he? He's taken our production style to a new level, and it's something we're proud of. With being indoors, we can have better light and we can have better sound because we're not battling the elements. So that
our risk assessments are easier than it is for an outdoor festival. Which is good because we don't have that what if there's thunder and lightning and what when do we shut the stage down kind of thing. So I think that was the other thing about us taking the Winter Gardens. We knew we'd get rid of all that kind of issue.
In terms of getting ready then for the festival, obviously we're 4 weeks away. What has ticket sales been like? Is it looking really, really promising for this year?
Yeah, it is. We've
obviously you don't have to tell me too much in terms of sales and whatnot.
We've been lucky that we've grown. The festival has grown each year. Year 2 we doubled, which was a really nice sign, and then we've grown within our means, which is the best way of saying it. That we've invested a bit more in the lineup each year, and covered that investment each year. You know, it's a fine balance.
It's growing at the right rate.
It's growing at the right rate. Yeah, yeah. I mean
the reason why I asked that is because you mentioned earlier about like tickets and selling, and one of the obviously we mentioned about festivals shutting, and it's so great to see people buying tickets early as well, as you mentioned earlier, because like you say, there is so much happening around the world that we've had so many big country festivals as well that have had to close, you know, in the past 5 years. And it's, as a podcaster and somebody who's, you know, also a fan of, you know, the music, it's really, really sad to see. And, you know, to know that, you know, it's growing, you know, year on year, you know, all I can do is urge everybody, please get your tickets early. If you haven't got them, get them now.
I think we at the festival that weekend, we offer the best deal, and we sell a lot of tickets. We sell, you know, we sell a big, but it's genuinely the best time to buy your tickets because they'll never be as cheap as they are that weekend. And it just helps all the independents, not just us. You know, I think anybody that you know is an independent festival, the quicker you can buy your tickets, earlier you can buy them. And also, I think, you know, you even book your tickets, you book your accommodation now for next year, you're going to get the cheapest rate if you can afford to do that. You know. But I think that's all the independents are all struggling with that issue, that people are waiting till the last minute, and that makes it harder for some of the real smaller ones to be able to survive that long, not knowing whether 2 months out they're going to get those numbers or they're not, and then they're having to pull it if they don't get them, you know. So
yeah.
Really, really, really excited. Well, we're gonna obviously have another chat in the next couple of months when we start looking at 2026. I mean, it's so weird saying that in its own right. Again, super excited to actually meet you guys in person on the weekend as well, if I can ever pull you away from the music and obviously the
absolutely. No, we'd love to do that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so excited. Where can people find tickets? Where can people find information on the festival? And finally, what are like the, say, 1 or 2 major like FAQs that people always seem to ask, you know, about the festival, about, you know, the place in general? What are like the main 2 questions that people ask that you can publicly answer?
Tickets are BritishCountryMusicFestival.com. That's straightforward.
Yeah, socials are at TBCAMF, the T standing for the
TBCMF.
But that's what was available.
I think the bit of advice I would say, if you're a weekend ticket holder or coming on Friday, the 29th, because it's 29th to the 31st, make sure you set off early on the 29th, because it is the Blackpool Illumination switch on that night, and the roads get busy. So people think, oh, we'll set off at 3 and we'll get there in plenty of time. And I would say set off early on that day to get to Blackpool. Yeah. But anything else is straightforward. There's places to sit. You know, we have a lot of seating in the Empress Ballroom, so things like that's usually the question we get asked now, is the seating. It's a long day.
Yeah, and our headliners are always on at
around 9:30.
9:30. Yeah.
Fantastic. And just a final question, just in terms of the venue and Winter Gardens, for those who haven't been and those who are disabled, is it disability accessible? That's
fully
fantastic.
Accessible, yeah, lifts throughout, so there's no problem with that at all.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, what more can you need? You know, it's available for all the fans, because there's so many festivals out there that people can't get to. So thank you so much for coming on. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure chatting with 2 people who have been so fundamental in the rise of country music here in the UK, in terms of securing those grassroots artists and just offering the stage for many. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for the time to talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you for your promotion as well, Dom. Thank you.